All right, everybody, what's up? Good morning. This is your Nerd Corner water edition. I'm going to keep it short and sweet, but I did want to go over some of the science behind water and why water intake is going to help you reach your goals no matter what they are, but also have some other amazing health benefits, including increasing your ability to burn body fat. So basically, 75%, most folks, 3 out of 4 folks, Americans, are dehydrated, chronically dehydrated, right? In order to be appropriately hydrated, you need to be drinking an absolute minimum of half of your body weight in ounces per day. So for me, I'm 120 pounds, that would be 60 ounces. Now, I personally, and part of my training program, that's not enough. I want folks at 100 to 128 ounces. That's my goal, that's where I want people at, that's where we see the most benefit, in my opinion, so that's what I'm going to ask my folks for. That's what I do. I do 128, that's a gallon a day. Right? So I'm drinking my body weight in water a day, period. Some of the benefits of that, so typically when we think about this from a brain science perspective, right, knowing that brain and body, we're one piece, right, we are one being. So thinking about that, okay, signs of dehydration include, not sleeping well, obviously low energy, low fatigue, feeling hungry more frequently. So what's happening? If you read the blog, then you saw all those different symptoms, right? Headaches, all these kinds of things. What's happening, that's your stress response system. So our bodies are built to survive, okay? So our bodies will naturally go into a stressed state if it doesn't have what it needs, okay? And this is an evil cycle that I see happening all of the time, okay? We get stressed from the outside world, right? We get, work stress or relationship stress or whatever it is, and we start feeling this emotional stress. So then we start lacking in our physical, taking care of ourselves physically. That leads to a physical stress response, which then leads us to even more like not taking care of ourselves. When in all actuality, if we can't always control what's happening out here, right, in the relationship stress or the work stress, but we can control our bodily stress by making sure that we're caring for our bodies in a way that it's not going to have such a strong stress response. This is how many people can face, stressors and not be bothered by it, or seemingly not be bothered by it, and other people kind of lose their shit, right? When you're taking care of your body, your stress response system is a little bit more in check. And what I mean by that is, so we're built to survive. If or when we perceive threat, which includes like money troubles, relationship troubles, job troubles, this is a threat to our survival. This is the way that our brain and body kind of translate that, right? This is a threat. If we do not have enough food, if we are too cold, or we get very, very hot, any of these things can be, you stub your toe, that's a stressor. Your body is going to respond with a stress response, and it's built to protect you. So basically what ends up happening is when we start being dehydrated, because most of us are, right? So you get dehydrated, your body sends out that stress response. Now, you ever notice, let's say you're nervous, okay? Let's say you're about to do something, you're going to do a presentation at work, or maybe you're gonna propose to your partner, or you're going out on a first date, like any of these things, right? And you're really nervous, okay? Have you ever noticed that during that time you're like, oh shit, I think I need to pee? Right? When you're going in to take a test, let's say you're going into the DMV to take a test or something, and you're like, oh crap, I gotta pee. You don't, you do, but that happens all the time. We feel like we need to urinate when we're stressed or nervous, because that is our stress response system. So when it kicks on, okay, our body goes through a process. Our body goes through like basically checkpoints of things that we need to do. Food, right? Water, remove waste, okay? This is all the way that our body processes. So when you get stressed, typically you feel like you need to pee, right? You're going to, your body temperature is going to adjust, right? It's probably gonna go up because it's gonna try to keep you warm just in case we're facing this like crazy winter, because you're freaking out as if it's the winter to end all winters. So your body's gonna be like, all right, cool, I got you, boom. Let's go ahead and up the temperature a little bit so we can survive this, right? Your body doesn't know what's happening out here. So, nor does it care. It's going to go through its process, right? So that's how this stress response system sort of works. This is a very, very elementary way of explaining it, but you get my point, right? So when we start our day dehydrated, okay, that is going to send our stress response signal, or our stress response system, to be on until we get to a hydrated state. Now, when that stress response system is on, you may be feeling hungry, or the opposite. So it may lead to overeating. It can lead to undereating, okay? what I always suggest too, a lot of times we perceive this stress response, we perceive feelings of hunger and tiredness incorrectly. So typically when you're feeling like very, very hungry, chances are you're probably dehydrated, right? But your body is sending out these stress signals to just say, give me what I need. So you need to give me. And so they're thinking, okay, well, if you're not going to give me water, then I'm going to release the hormone that's going to make you feel hungry, because then I can at least get nutrients from the food, right? But typically, when we're feeling very, very tired, your body is saying, okay, I don't have enough fuel, I don't have enough water, we need to shut down. Okay, we need to shut down. It's basically telling you that it needs to heal because it doesn't have what it needs, and that's why we're feeling so tired. So if we have appropriate hydration, though, you see increased energy, hormones, you start to see hormones balance out, you start to see less kind of, for particularly women, at least for me, this is just personal experience, but I know when I'm properly hydrated, my lady time is a much more manageable in terms of cramps, fatigue, the cravings, all that kind of stuff. Huge difference when I'm properly hydrated than if I'm not. Caffeine, obviously, intake can go down because we're not just pounding more coffee, which means diet can get on track because it's not going to be messing with your appetite. So essentially, all of these things start with a few foundational health things, and it's not about anything other than drinking water. Just drinking water can increase all of these positive outcomes and decrease all these negative ones. Skin, I have a lot of people that compliment my skin. A lot of times say, wow, you have great skin. I'm like, well, thank you. I guess it's just because I drink enough water. I don't, and I've never worn makeup really. I went through a phase, but it was very, very quick-lived. But things like that. So I guess that's one thing, but it definitely helps with your skin. Start drinking water, and what I have found is that it decreases acne, it decreases negative outcomes for your skin, for basically everything. So basically it's all about decreasing those cortisol levels, those stress hormones, and one way to do that is to stay properly hydrated. That's 100 to 128 ounces of water per day. And like I said, that's going to then decrease those stress hormones, and you know what the decreased stress hormones do? Those stress hormones store fat. So if our goal is to decrease body fat, whether you're trying to increase muscle or you're trying to just get smaller, we're all kind of in the same boat trying to lose body fat, right? Well, in order to do that, we have to be properly hydrated. Otherwise, our body's stressed and it's going to store that fat because it thinks we're going to die. It's just how our body works. If our body perceives threat, which dehydration equals death, which means dehydration equals we're going to die, dehydration equals body's going to store more fat so that it can try to survive longer. So in that sense, when you're not hydrating properly, you're actually fighting against your own body. So I think that's enough of that. If you have questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know. I would love to continue to have this conversation. We can get even more nerdy about it. I love talking about the stress response system and how children of trauma have different patterns, and so that creates a whole nother thing with people like me. So it's very, very important, especially important for folks who have, kind of been through some stuff, to stay properly hydrated and to do it consistently. This isn't like drink a gallon of water a day and then don't drink any the next day. Yes, you will urinate more. Yes, you will go to the bathroom more. Guess what? This is an amazing thing. This is a very, very good thing. Fat cells leave our body in two ways and two ways only. One is urination and one is sweat. So we work out so that we sweat. The fat cells come through that sweat and leave our body, and or we drink enough water, you urinate regularly, it flushes all that out along with other waste. Okay, so it is a good thing to go to the bathroom. Even though it may be inconvenient for us, we do need to make time for that, make space for that in your life to be able to go to the restroom regularly so that your body is regulating. Fair enough? All right. Questions or comments or concerns, please let me know. As always, I'm here for you, and if you want to just get nerdy about this with me, you let me know. Okay, love you, bye.